Washington, D.C. is almost completely reopened for tourism, but there are still a few things that are closed and a lot of important details that you need to know about. First, let's talk about what is currently not open. As far as the big tourist sites, the Supreme Court, Bureau of Engraving and Printing, and National Air and Space Museum are all closed. The Air and Space Museum on the National Mall has actually been closed since May, as they're doing a massive renovation inside the building. Of course, right after I finished recording, Smithsonian announced reopening details for the Air and Space Museum. It will reopen to the public on Friday, October 14th. And because they expect high demand, tickets will be required. Tickets will be released starting 1 month in advance, on September 14th. The announcement says that information about how and where to get them online will be released in the coming weeks. I'll put a link to this announcement in the description so you have all this information. The Udvar-Hazy Center in Virginia is open, and if you want my advice on whether I think it's worth going to see, check out my summer tips video where I answered this exact question. Now let's talk about a few things that are open but at a limited capacity. White House tours have returned and are now operating mornings Tuesday through Saturday. Requests must be made at least 21 days in advance through a member of Congress. So make sure to do this as far in advance as you can and don't try to request a Sunday or Monday. The Capitol Visitor Center has also reopened. However, right now, advance reservations are required. And I can tell you that this summer, these reservations were booking up weeks in advance. For the Capitol, you have the choice of requesting a Capitol tour either through your member of Congress's office or booking yourself on a tour through the Capitol Visitor Center website. Several of my tour customers told me this summer that they made a request through their member of Congress and then wound up getting booked on a regular visitor center tour anyway. So I would say strategy-wise, if you can get a tour through the visitor center, I'd probably just go ahead and do that. And then contact your member of Congress for one if you can't. As far as other notable reopenings go, the National Gallery of Art East building reopened in June after a renovation. And the old post office tower, one of my personal favorites, also reopened in June. And I posted a YouTube Shorts video with details and instructions for how you can go to the top of the old post office tower for a view. So make sure to check out the video description for the link. The Washington Monument continues to be a difficult ticket to get. And the old post office tower is a great alternative if you don't want to deal with that. As far as museums, all Smithsonian sites, except for the Air and Space Museum, have returned to regular hours and full capacity. You do need tickets if you want to go to the National Zoo, African American History and Culture Museum, National Air and Space Museum, or the One with Eternity exhibit at the Hirshhorn Museum. For those first three, you can get tickets online. And for One with Eternity, tickets have to be claimed at the Hirshhorn Museum in person. When you go to the museums, you might notice that Smithsonian installed new metal detectors this year. I don't know exactly how these work, but they do seem to be much faster than the old ones. However, if you bring a bag, you do still have to go through the bag check. By the way, I've been so excited to talk about all this reopening news, I haven't even introduced myself yet. If you're new to this channel, my name is Rob. I'm a tour guide and the founder of Trip Hacks DC Tours. On this channel, I share my best tips, tricks, and hacks for visitors who want to explore Washington, DC. And I'm really curious to know, are you watching this video because you have an upcoming trip planned? If you are, leave a comment and let me know when you're coming and what you're most looking forward to. Or if you've been here recently, leave a comment and let everyone know how your trip went. Now, let's talk about a few quick Metro updates. Metro trains have been relatively crowded this summer because of the combination of more people going back out and unfortunately Metro's still running fewer trains than pre-COVID. So I highly recommend watching some of my Metro tips videos to help you get prepared for your trip so that you don't wind up like the family that I had to ask quite loudly to move out of the way the other day because they were cluelessly standing on the wrong side of a Metro escalator. In June, Metro started offering $2 flat fares for rides after 9:30 p.m., which is an extension of the $2 weekend flat fares that started last year. Another big Metro update is that the Silver Line extension to Dulles Airport might open this year. I say this reluctantly because I personally have been burned many times by announcements that it's almost ready and it's almost done, and then it gets delayed another year. So when it comes to Metro to Dulles Airport, I'll believe it when I see it. But don't worry, because if it ever opens in my lifetime, I will have a video with instructions for how to use it to get to and from Dulles Airport. A few other updates if you're going to be here soon. TripHacks DC tours are now open for booking through the end of October. Both private tours with me and the Monumental Trivia Tour with Christine. If you are interested in either of these, please book them in advance. There are only a limited number of tours to go around right now, and I would hate for you to miss out because everything is already fully booked and sold out during your trip dates. Restaurant Week is happening this month, from August 15th through 21st. If you're coming during those dates, make sure to watch my video about how to navigate Restaurant Week. It's a little bit trickier than navigating the restaurant scene at any other time. The Library of Congress Book Festival is back this year. This is one of my personal favorite events. It's going to be on September 3rd at the Convention Center. And I have an entire video with tips for checking it out if you wanna go. And hey, since you made it this far, then I highly recommend watching another TripHacks DC video, like this one. Just go ahead and click or tap right over here, right there, right now. Enjoy your trip.